Gregory. I'm 21 years old. I was deployed to Logar Province, Afghanistan from October 2010 to October 2011. And during that deployment, December 5th, 2010, I was shot by a pretty large caliber rifle. It came in at my shoulder blade, ran across my back, hit my thoracic spine, and we unknowingly fractured one of my vertebrae. And then it came to rest at my right trap. Then 4 months later, in April, I fell off of a cliff, and it was about a 20-foot drop. I landed on a rock on my lower back, which made it swell up and fill up with fluid and stuff like that, and then sent pretty good trauma up my spine. Again, during the x-rays and stuff for that is when we found the fracture on my thoracic as well. And then a few months later in September, my truck was blown up by an IED, and that just caused further problems. So once we returned back home in October and finished our deployment, we had to do a lot of x-rays and MRIs and stuff on my back, and they found herniated discs on my cervical spine and the fracture on my thoracic. And I've been going through pain physical therapy and stuff like that, and I just recently got a medical discharge and retirement from the military. For my medication, we started off with the lowest level possible, which was tramadol and low-grade Vicodin, and then through more and more doctor visits, we moved up to oxycodone, and then finally up to Oxycontin, and had to move the milligram up. I'm currently on 30 milligrams of Oxycontin every morning and night, and then Percocet throughout the day, just to help control my pain levels. It doesn't usually ever make them go all the way away, but it helps dull them out. For physical therapy, there wasn't much that the Army could do for me, but they sent me, I've gotten spinal injections of steroids up and down my thoracic, but that didn't conclude any help at all. My whole body was tingling from, my head to my toes, and I had a really bad ringing in my ears. So my first thought was that I was paralyzed, and then I just broke as quick as I could after a second or so. I reminded myself to move around, wiggle my fingers and my toes, and so I determined I wasn't paralyzed, and just because I could move everything and I was okay. And then based on how the pain felt, I thought that my plate caught the round, and it was just sitting inside my Kevlar, and I was okay. So everything was pretty chaotic for a little while, and then finally I got to move over a last hill where the other half of my platoon was waiting, and a medic came down to check me out. He cut my shirt open, and that's when they saw the blood dripping down my back, and they said, okay, you've been shot. But we didn't know at the time where the bullet was inside me, like what happened, what kind of damage was done to me inside. So we still had to move about a kilometer, zigzagging back to our cop where they could finally cut all my gear off. And then that's when they found the bullet sitting just right under my skin in my right trap. The original pain, right as we started, I had a burning pain right at the base of my neck, and that's pretty much subsided pretty well. And then all down my back and across my shoulder blades feels a lot looser and like a little more movable without so much tightness and tension going down my spine.
Great. Now you asked Kelly to push in on your spine. That's one of your real sore points?
Yeah, that's the actual, I had her push on the vertebrae that actually got impacted by the bullet, and it still definitely has pain there, but it's just not the norm. Normally at any sign of pressure, I usually jump away from it, but we were able to kind of like move around, get a little closer to it, before I had to actually stop, and it hurt too bad.
So for a first session with our laser, with our Activ laser, what do you think? Want to continue?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm really excited just because of the immediate decrease of pain levels and looseness, and it's all kind of wraps up in one. Like the looser my back gets, the less pain I have going down my back, and then that kind of helps me even like when I sleep at night. If I sleep better at night, I wake up and my back doesn't hurt as bad. And so I'm really excited because of the immediate help, and then now that we get to do continuous stuff, I can't wait to see where we are, like the other story in 6 weeks.
Great, we'll keep track of this. Thank you. You came today. Did you take your pain medications this morning?
No, I made sure not to take any kind of pain medication this morning so that I'd be able to give active or pretty accurate pain levels to you.
Great. And I would imagine it's your goal to not have to take pain meds anymore.
Absolutely. That's the end goal, to just use some kind of other treatment besides medication that's going to mess up not only my stomach, my liver, kidneys, and just cause like the risk for addiction. So that's the end goal, is to try and move away from any kind of medication.
Well, I got a picture that's glued in a book with most of my family that somebody took.